everyone doing this evening? It's good to have everybody here. So tonight's topic, we're going to talk about vision board visualization. I'm really excited about this topic. I do think a lot of times, okay, let me grab my phone, dial in by phone. Okay, Tashina. Um, I do think this is a very, very important topic because I think sometimes this is one of the missing links to people's success. It's so, so important that we realize our potential, but along with our potential action, but it's so important to also visualize. So we're going to get into that topic tonight and talk a little bit more about that.
Okay. What did I miss? I'm sorry.
I was just telling everybody the topic.
Oh, okay. Before we get going, everyone go ahead and mute your mics. Because I know it was cutting out in and out upstairs just briefly. But go ahead. We're talking about Tashina, is it possible to mute your other your phone or your computer? One of them is giving some feedback. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. So go ahead. Yep, go ahead and start. Are we oiling up? Is this the oil you chose tonight?
Clarity, yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're going to encourage everyone to oil up. Clarity was the oil that...
I thought clarity was actually quite fitting for the subject matter that we're talking about, as far as we want clear vision and clear view of our future, where we're going, what we're doing. So clarity, love, love, love clarity, or whatever oil you have, go ahead and oil up with it. But really for mind focus, we love that clarity. So oil up. Okay.
That's really good. Okay.
I love the basil in there.
Did you want to start or you wanted me to start?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, go ahead. You start with what you have. I'm just going to share some things. I have some things.
So first and foremost, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is...
Can you mute your mic for me, please? Let's see here. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay.
All right, so I wanted to first talk about, when we talk about vision, it's so important because we want to have a clear picture of what is important. We want to define our goals and what it actually looks like. Because really, the reality is, if we don't have clear, distinct goals and visions as to where we're going, we're going to be roaming around aimlessly, and we're not going to really be effective and meet and succeed to where we're supposed to be. So first, I wanted to start with a list of why you might want to think about a vision board or visualization. And the reason I took both of these topics, because depending on your personality, you might not be one that actually is going to sit there and take a magazine and cut out little cute pictures and have like a physical vision board. But it's still just as important that you visualize. So that's why we group this together. But here's a list of a few things that you know that is important that you would need to do this. One, if you always set new goals, but have a huge lack of actual follow through, then you want to set a vision board or visualization. Two, if you have no idea how or where to start in order to make your goals a reality, you need to cast that vision. Three, if you are comfortable with only wanting something, so you continue to tell yourself that will never happen for you. And this is a key one too, because the reality is we go for what we feel like we have to have. If it's something that it's like, oh, I kind of want to be diamond. I kind of want to, supplement my income, but it's not a need. If we don't make sure that we're hungry for it, we're not going to last, and we're not going to stay consistent with it. It has to be more than just something that we kind of want, because if it is too difficult or if it falls through, we're not going to stay consistent. The fourth one is you have trouble organizing the ideas in your head. So you have all these beautiful things that you want to get out there, and you want to build this way, and then you want to do this and you want that, but you can't quite narrow yourself down to figure out what's going to be best for you. You need to cast your vision. You need to have that vision board or visualization. The fifth one, you can constantly feel defeated by negative people in your life. Sometimes we can change this and sometimes we cannot. Sometimes the most negative person in our life might be our spouse. Sometimes the most negative person in your life might be your parents. It might be someone that's close to you where there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do to get rid of them, but you can't take their negativity onto yourself so that you start applying those negative words and negative thoughts to yourself. So it's important to cast that vision. The sixth point and the last one is you have tried just keeping a list of your goals, but you continue to struggle to accomplish them. So again, there's a huge difference when it comes to writing a list of something and actually seeing a picture in your mind, visualizing that thing. So the way our brain works and it operates is we are able to move forward if we can visualize it. So I always use this example of like in a dream. So maybe you've had a dream where it just seems so real to you. Like every part of it, you were there, your body was there, you really envisioned and believed that that dream was true. You woke up and couldn't believe that that wasn't reality. It's because our brains, that is how they work. We could visualize it so that it became so true in our minds that we could basically step into it, even though it was just an illusion in our brains. So in the same thing, when we cast visions and we cast our goals for the future, we have to be able to step into those and see ourselves in those visions.
Yeah, I kind of want to chime in on that, just because when we were talking about tonight's topic, it really made me think of a person that's going on a trip, and you either use Google Maps, or if back in the day you get a physical map and you would map out how to get from your home to your destination. And the reason that you would do that is because you want to find, well, two reasons. You want to find probably the quickest and most efficient way to get there, but you want to make sure that you don't end up in the completely wrong direction, right? So it's the same thing when you're casting your visions, and whether it's related to Young Living or whatever your goal is in life, period, you need to have an idea of what that looks like. So, like when you're looking or thinking about going on a trip, or you're looking about, planning out a trip, most people do what? They look at pictures. So I know, like, I'm a huge person. If I'm talking about going on vacation, like, I'm Googling all the sites and I imagine what it'll be like when I get there. And so it's the same thing in this business. You have to put it in your mind as if almost you're there. And then you have to look at, well, how do I want to get there? What is my route? Some people take the more scenic route and it takes a little bit longer to get there, and some people take the direct route. But that's not the important part. The important part is that you have a way or a plan to get where you're visualizing. So I think it's very interesting that you hit on one of the points that you had was individuals are comfortable with only wanting something and not necessarily getting it. And I think it's because, throughout the years in the society that we live in, we're always told that it's okay if you don't accomplish something. It's okay. You tried your best. It's okay that you didn't make it. And so we make concessions for ourselves to the point where it's almost like we run out of gas, right, on that trip, or trying to achieve that goal. We run out of gas and we eventually stop. And so with having specific goals in mind and a definite plan of how you want to achieve it, you make the best use of your resources, so to speak. So I feel like that's why that's so important. I just wanted to chime in there. I don't know if I threw you off with that.
Oh no, and I was just thinking too, like so. The difference between so I just want to make sure everybody understands exactly what a vision board is. So essentially, a vision board, you are going to take magazines, you're going to take pictures, and you are going to actually take a board where you will put on some of those accomplishments or goals that you want to achieve, whether it be in the next year, 2 years, 10 years, or whatever it might be. Um, so again, it's important to not just make this board, put it somewhere, and then you never look at it, right? So there should be a board that literally is somewhere where every single day you're seeing yourself in that board. So not just having that board, but taking a look at that board and envisioning yourself into those goals, marking off when you achieve some of those goals. So I know for me, like one thing that I envisioned, as far as moving up in ranks and being at convention, like I envisioned like what I'm gonna look like as a diamond when I'm walking around as a diamond, like having my crew with me, like like I literally have the outfit that I'm gonna wear, and I'm gonna be repping my Detroit Tigers, logo and stuff like that. Like, but have you cast that vision and seen yourself there? And many people also have other visions, but the most important thing to me, like I want like my team to be ranked up with me. Like I want fellow diamonds, right? I don't want like everybody to be left behind. I want everybody there with me. For me, that's a huge thing. I'm like, I want my posse with me, or whatever. So what is your vision? What do you like? Can you close your eyes and genuinely see yourself walking on the stage, when they call up all the people at the different ranks, and when they get the little diamond dinners where they give that recognition, and you have those few minutes where you get to speak, and like, do you know what you're going to say? Do you know, what your diamond song would be? Like, what hypes you up? Like, what is that vision that you have? So we want to make sure that we're casting that and seeing ourselves there. Because if we don't see ourselves there, it's going to be that much more difficult to get there. So one of the things that like Tony Robbins always talks about that I wanted to mention was potential is there. What we believe is the amount of action they will take. The state of certainty, if you tap into that potential, then that's where action will follow. So the reality is we all have the potential to do it, right? Every single human on this team, every single human, like pretty much everybody can become diamond. The potential is there. The way we were created, the potential is there. The action has to follow that. But many times we'll get in a situation where we're like, well, I'm having the classes, I'm doing the follow up, and it's not coming, I'm not getting the results that I'm wishing. Well, what might be missing is that visualization. Because if your brain is not partnering with your actions, then you're not going to be able to move forward, right? So what I mean by that is if you don't see yourself, like let's say you're hosting a party and you don't see yourself selling kits to everybody there, that's what you're going to convey to them, right? So there's sometimes where we go to a situation and it's like we talk people down, where it's like we know that them getting the kit is the best thing for them, but then we end up talking them into just annoying, because that is what we're portraying. Oh, it's so expensive, I know, you probably can't afford it, but just try this one, right? Because that's what we envision. We feel like it's too expensive, or we feel like it's too much for people, and so that's what we portray to other people. So again, when we visualize, I'm gonna have this awesome party, it's gonna be tons of people there, and everybody's gonna buy a kit.
And I think also it's important to remember that visualization is important because sometimes this business is not always easy.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, because sometimes it is.
Is it?
It's extremely simple.
It's simple but not easy.
And sometimes you have a good party. Sometimes you have a good class that seemed like, oh wow, like everyone showed up and everyone was asking. Sometimes it's like that. But then there are times when it is extremely difficult. And so what is going to allow you to press on in those difficult times? I feel like if you don't have the visualization that is beyond what your current situation is, then you'll quit. And so that has to be your driving motivating factor. I know for me, a huge thing was to be debt free. Like I want to be able to be home with my kids, uh, not have any debt over our heads. And I want to be able to be like, okay, this week, where are we going? Oh, we're going to Thailand this week. So that is my visualization for myself. And that's what allows me to continue on, even when it's difficult. So you have to take that moment to create what a life looks like beyond your current circumstances.
Mm.
What does a life look like continuing on in your journey in young living? And it has to be something that is important to you. Like I know that there's like you can go on Pinterest and get different ideas of vision boards, which are great to give you ideas, but if they're not personal to you, the reality is that they're not going to affect and motivate you, and neither are they going to be things that you really want to pursue. So they have to be very personal. That's why everyone's vision board should be different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sorry, did I derail you? I had one more thought I wanted to share. Mm-hmm. So, in line with that, I just remember reading. I don't know if anyone's ever read Ula. But I absolutely love Ula. The book is about finding balance in an unbalanced world, but I know that one of the points that was kind of contributed to tonight's topic was about setting goals to reach where you want to be. So it had the 1, 1, and 1, setting a goal for 1 week out, 1 month out, 1 year out. And it's interesting because as I was setting up our setup for tonight's call, I glanced at my vision casting that I did for 2016. And I had my 1 week goal, 1 month goal, 1 year goal. And I'm going down the line and when I walked over there, I said, wow, I don't think I accomplished any of these. And as I'm reading down, oh yeah, I did do that. Check, cool. Continue going down. Oh yeah, I am doing better with that. Check. So even in life, it's important to have that visualization and be specific. Make sure that you have a concrete goal in mind on how you're going to accomplish that. And I think that's why that 1 week, 1 month, 1 year goal is so important, because it makes it so it's not such a big task to accomplish it. It makes it tangible, and it makes it something that you can do on a smaller scale, smaller actions every single day, every single week to get you there. Mm-hmm. So that's something I really wanted to share.
Yep. So practicing is not enough. Skills are great, and you need to hone in on those skills, but they're not enough. It starts with that mindset. You have to change that mindset. One beautiful thing about this type of business is you are going to become a better person at the end of it. Like no other job is going to be like, yeah, by the way, you're going to be amazing when you're done, right? So practicing is not enough. Mindset is important. When we talk about visualization, it teaches your brain to recognize what resources it will need to help you to succeed in reaching your goals. That's so important. Because sometimes, again, when we have certain goals, we don't see how they're going to be accomplished. I don't see and know exactly who my leaders are, who it's going to be when I am diamond, right? But that's not what's important. Set the goal, and then when your brain can partner with that, it will give you the resources. It will create a way to get to that destination. It also plays as a very important inner motivation to strive for that goal. If you are not your number one cheerleader, you're not going to make it. You have to internally truly believe from your mind that it is possible. Your mind cannot partner with your actions if they're not on the same level. You have to genuinely believe it. Also, when you're have those goals clear cut and you're visualizing those, then you're going to be able to promote positive thinking, and you'll stay on track. Because you're always going to have the naysayers, you're always going to have negative people, even people that have good intentions but are negative. And the only way for you to push past that and stay strong is you have to reinforce that positivity within yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, so is that everything you wanted to share when we open up the floor? So we have 10 minutes left. Tashina or anyone else who's on, is there anything that you would like to say to contribute to tonight's topic and talking about vision casting and visualization and why it's so important in this business?
How many people have vision boards?
So I have a vision book, which I cannot locate currently at this time. So I don't put that much emphasis on it. So it's actually very interesting because I am like, I do need to keep it up. I got stuff like in my front room, business stuff, and I can just keep it there. And I am going to now make the goal to, once I find it, review it on a regular basis. But I have a book because like a vision board would be too stressful for me. Like trying to get everything, like I would lose my mind. So it was easier to just like buy a scrapbook and randomly put like 5 things. This is the vacation page and this is this page. For me, it's like a lot easier. But I'm very words driven. I'm not very picture driven. And because I'm words driven, I do a lot of visualizations thinking about my story. So I don't know what I'm going to wear when I'm Diamond, but I do visualization as far as I will, in my mind, look at my virtual office and see the people with executive next to their name that I want to see them executive by the end of March. I will say stuff all the time like, oh, this is something I'm going to change when I become Diamond. I will be driving sometimes to like Grand Rapids or on the west side of the state, and I will start to remember vividly some of my track stories and think, I can't wait to be Diamond because this is going to be such an inspirational story when I tell it from stage about overcoming. So I do the mental visualization, and I have the wording and the people that I want to be with me when I'm Diamond, and I do some of that like specific stuff, but I do want to make sure that I work on getting my vision book, scrapbook out and reviewing that on a regular basis and adding to it because I've actually had it for a long time. And some of the things that I put in there when I was in other businesses or had other goals, I haven't hit yet as far as vacations that I wanted to take and stuff. I haven't got to Brazil yet. I haven't got to Europe yet. And so those are some of the things I need to review so that I can have some more motivation and get to those places faster.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it's very important. I like that, that vision board for her looks different. The fact that it's a vision book, because that appeals more to her personality type. So that's actually a good suggestion too. If making a vision board is not something that appeals to your personality type, have something that you can put those down in.
Yes. And we would love to see if you have a physical vision board, post them in the comments. We would love to see that. And even if you have, again, casting your vision and it's in your head, like explain it, describe it. We want to hear about it. Again, we want to hear from everybody and their visualization.
Looks like Jennifer unmuted herself.
I'm trying to unmute and try to move around. I have the vision board I made when we did the game plan, and I have it in my room right here, so I see it every day.
Awesome.
Great. See, and here's the thing that I actually like. Our kids were instrumental in making the vision board as well, and so they're a part of that. And so if you have individuals in your family, they see where you're trying to get, include them. It's important to be your own cheerleader, but just as important to have those around you to have that positive energy as well. So I know our kids, I don't even want to say they badger, but I know they ask us every day, are we gold yet? Like, so that we can go to Disney World? Like, because it's that real for them, So that's a great point from Jennifer as well. Put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. Like Dana mentioned, the mind doesn't know the difference. So as long as you put it somewhere where you and take time to look at it every single day, it becomes real. It becomes real. So very important. Thank you for sharing that, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are 5 minutes out. Um, want to take the time. What is today? Today is the 28th. So we are getting down to the tail end of the month. February is going to be a huge month, usually for individuals. February is one of the largest growth months of the year because it's tax season, and so a lot of people are getting a little bit of extra money within their household. So I do want to take just a couple minutes to encourage everyone to strive to finish out your month strong. If you're trying to hit rank uh, and you don't see how it's going to happen yet, just get on the phone, start following up with people. If they don't purchase their kit this month, think about next month because it's going to be a compounding effect. February and March are going to be huge months. So we want to see everyone rank up, and I definitely feel like it's possible.
And then I just wanted to mention too, everyone, make sure everybody saw the email about some of the prices going up February 1st. So even with thinking about finishing out the month, this is a great opportunity. If you have people in your organization that are at zeros, or you have people that are about to go inactive, reach out to them, call them. They might not see the emails, they might not see the text messages. Physically call them, let them know that, hey, I know you love that lavender, you might want to stock up on a little bit more, or whatever. I don't know if that's going up or not, but find something that might interest them or that they could benefit from, or and then get on those phones and get with them to close out the month.
Yeah, just to clarify, the premium starter kit cost is not going up. It's some of the individual oils, right?
I don't know all of what.
Yeah, I from what I read, I think it was the premium starter kit is still going to stay the same price.
That is correct. That is correct.
Products will be going up, I think, 2 to 3%. But nonetheless, still continue to build. The Savvy kit is launching in February, right? So great for you ladies and those who love makeup, for individuals to pursue. So just start brainstorming now. Think about planning out your month of February on how you can really rock out and hit it hard, and visualize what the month of February will look like. The end of February, what will that look like?
What rank will you be at the end of February?
Yep. So very important. Last couple minutes, does anyone have any events that they would like to promote, or any recognitions that they would like to give anyone on their team?
We have Kate is doing a Instagram live class Tuesday evening. So anyone can feel free to friend her and join that in order to participate. And then her sister Carrie got a sign up in Ecuador, so from her class. So that was pretty exciting. We did our first full Spanish Intro to Oils class via Hangouts, all in Spanish. And I've had my first Savvy Minerals class in Spanish, and I have 3 spa parties already booked for February, and have so many requests for it that I don't know how I'm going to fit everything in February. So yes, offer to get you guys the art set, and offer to do spa parties. Like, people are so much more excited about washing their face and makeup than they are about oils.
So there you go. Very good. Okay. So we'll do our best to support the events that we can, take advantage of them, those that are within your area. And so I guess with that, we'll go ahead and close out tonight's call. We want to thank everyone for being on. We were on a hiatus last week for our team rally or team get together. We got to come up with a name for that, but every month we've been trying to include those within the team, get together, spend time with one another, share tidbits, and just have a good time. So there will be one in February as well. Keep an eye out for that. But we look forward to seeing everyone on next week's call. And until then, everyone stay healthy, keep driving, and we'll see you then. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.